Alright, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. This is, of course, your broadcaster, HD StarCraft, and I am here to bring you guys the final game of the Asus ROG, the GD tournament. At this point, both of these players are playing for $2,000 additional dollars to the $2,000 they've already been guaranteed for making it this far in the grand finals. This has been a best of 5. This is the last game, the 5th and final game of the best of 5, and ROG's Elfi is going to be in the top right-hand corner of the map, Cloud Kingdom. Down in the bottom left-hand corner, we do have the blue Terran player, and of course, his name is Thorzain. Is he actually going to make a comeback here? He was down 1-2 in the set, has powered through the last game, and now, you know, he's got to be feeling so confident. He held off that all-in with the ability to snipe the Observer, and then after realizing, hey, the Observer's down, all I've got to do is hold on to my front door, and honestly, as Terran, if you have 2 bases and Protoss has 1 base and Protoss doesn't kill off enough workers, it's pretty easy for Terran to come back. In that game, there were about 20 workers that went down, but Thorzain is so greedy, so good with the macro. Yeah, 20 SCVs going down, alright, no problem. I'll just rebuild them, not a big deal. And that just... it's now tied up. That's all I gotta say about that. Now I'm gonna give out a Heart of the Swarm beta key in this video, and actually not specifically going to give it out in this video. I'm going to give it out in a more interesting way here. I'm gonna make you guys a little bit of work. So I'm going to do a scavenger hunt. Somewhere in my YouTube archives, there will be a video with an annotation right at the beginning of the video. That annotation is going to cover the entire first 5 to 10 seconds of the video, and it will say winner. If you guys can find that video with the annotation and post a comment below that video, be the first one, then you guys will win a Heart of the Swarm beta key. This one's going to be pretty hard. I don't know how long it's going to take someone to find it, because I think I've got over 1,000 videos in my archive, so I know this one's going to take a while, and this one should definitely appease the people who've been saying, these questions are too easy, HD. You gotta make it so that it doesn't reward the people who comment right away. So here it is. Find the video somewhere in my YouTube archives. Not gonna say where, not gonna say when, not gonna say the title of the video, but there will be an annotation at the beginning of the video saying winner. It will cover the entire first 5 seconds of the video, and best of luck. So I'll check back every couple hours or so until someone wins, and when you do win, I'll give you a beta key. So there it is. Best of luck, guys. And now getting back into this game, this is the 5th and final game of this set. Zealot coming out for Elfi here. And that scared the bejesus out of that SCV. He is gone. He's out of there. And I've got a big question here. Will Elfi go for a 1-base strategy? Will he try to rush Thorzain again? Or is he going to calm down a little bit here and say, well, I tried it last game. It didn't really work. This is the 5th and final game. I don't want to pin all my hopes on trying to take down Thorzain right away. I'm going to try to macro. I don't know. We'll have to see. He is throwing up a Nexus right now, but as we saw in the 3rd game of this set, that didn't really matter that he expanded. He could still do a 2-base charge out Archon all in. Thorzain right now is going for a CC, no surprise here, added on a couple of gases, getting a first and getting a second barracks right now. In fact, the only surprise of this entire game from Thorzain was the very first game when he decided to pull like 3 or 4 SCVs with his army and then say, screw it, I'm going in with the barracks and factory. And that was really uncharacteristic of Thorzain. You almost never see him do that. So that was weird. And we do have a second gateway coming right now, just checking through and seeing their actual APM right now, and it looks like Thorzain is just a little bit higher on the current and the average. And Elfi does have that Nexus down. He is adding a robotics facility, another pretty quick robo, not super quick like right after 1 gateway. That was weird, but he's actually adding on the robotics facility after the 2nd gateway. That's a little quick. Usually you see Protoss get 3 gateways and then they add on the robo, but you can go a pretty quick robo as well. And we'll see. I think right now both players are actually going to play macro. I don't think Elfi is going to be aggressive. We do have a Stalker just kind of patrolling the outside along with the Marine checking out the potential 3rd here. Usually Terrans send the Marines out to the outer extremities of the map just to check for pylons, check for hidden probes, anything nasty of that sort. We do have a Twilight Council coming from Elfi. There it is. And I don't know. That's, again, strange that he would get a Twilight Council right after the robotics facility, and only has 2 gateways worth of production right now. I guess he might try something once again, or he might just be getting a little bit earlier Storm Research, a little bit earlier Templars, or Charge Lot. I'm not sure yet. It is going to be Blink. And if he had gotten a third gateway and then gotten the Twilight Council, I would have been like, all right, that's fine. That's usually what Protoss players might do if they're going to charge their Archon, but he does it after the second gateway. So there might be a little bit of thinking involved here from Elfi. He might be planning something. We'll have to see. SCVs right now completely tied up at 35 apiece. Starport is on the way. He has an engineering bay. No surprise there. Marine on his way back right now for Thorzain. Has nothing interesting to report on the southeast corner of the map. And now Observer coming in from the Protoss player to check out what the Terran is up to. We do have 2 more gateways on the way now. That is just going to total 4 though. So there's no real nasty number yet, unless Elfi decides to add on like 3 to 4 more gateways. Then we know for sure that he is going to 2-base the Terran player. But as of right now, I can't say one way or another what he is planning. There is an Observer coming in. It looks like a couple Marines are not going to see it. You know, so far this game, Thorzain has just been so impeccably good at sniping out the obs. He's seen it every single time. Does he see it this time? Doesn't look like he does. Nope, no. I think he does. He's moving out. And no, actually, so that Observer is going to remain hidden for some time as Thorzain begins pushing out with his main army. This is the 5th and final game, guys. I cannot wait to see who's going to win, who's going to take home that $4,000. We do have combat shields on the way, and Thorzain is definitely pushing out right now. Force field cell. Oh, maybe if Elfi had waited for the army. Now, I don't know about those force fields. If he had waited for more of the army to come down and then threw out a force field, that would have worked really well. And now the medevacs can come in and they will be able to save any units that are stuck. Both of them still continuing to skirmish here on the middle terrain, but it looks like Elfi now is going to pull back as he adds on more sentries into his army. He still hasn't really gone into, whoa, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 gateways, plus Templar Archives, Twilights, and Robo Facility. And at this point, I do think he is going to do the same exact thing he did in the game where he went mass charge on Archon and go for a 2-baser. If he adds on another gateway for sure, but at this moment, you know, for a Protoss player not to have Robo, not to be going Colossus, and yeah, there we go. An 8th gateway has a very quick Storm Research. He added it on the Twilight Council after the 2nd gateway, mind you, not waiting for later on in the game like most Protoss would. I do think Elfi is going to push here. I think he's going to do the same thing he did. And Thorzain, will he be prepared? Does he have a comsat? He does! He comsats this time! And for sure now he sees a ton of gateways, Templar Archives, but the weird thing, that is so interesting. Elfi is throwing up 2 forges now. So I don't know what the forges are all about. Thorzain might see that and say, okay, you're playing macro. Maybe Elfi himself is actually going to transition and say, well, I'm not going to push. I'm not going to try to end the game right now. I am going to expand and try to play macro. So there it is, but I feel like his upgrades are definitely far behind Thorzain, who, like I said before, Greedy Terran gets the upgrades going right away. He's already got 1-1, actually is about to get 1 armor. So I do think Elfi's got some catching up to do in terms of the upgrades, but he is going to make a push right now with not Charge Out Archon, but Gateway backed up by Storm. And there already goes on the way. And look at Thorzain here. He knows, man. He's not fooled by the 2 forges. And he sees the Nexus here with Speedy Gonzalez, the Marine. But he's playing it safe. He's adding on barracks. He's walled off the front door. And that is the proper way to respond against a Protoss player who is going to charge out Archon. Thorzain scanned here and he saw Templar Archives and Twilight Council and all the gateways. He's like, oh, you might be going to charge out Archon, so I'm going to wall off my front just in case. Actually, that's not what Elfi is doing, though. He is playing a gateway mixture with very quick Templars for Storm. But he has actually expanded here, and so Thorzain saw that and he was like, alright, so now I'm going to lift up my barracks, and now I'm going to free up the front of my door. But this is a lot of little things, little nuances going on here in this game for you guys who are watching right now. And it seems like there were multiple avenues where Elfi could have attacked, but Thorzain prepared accordingly. due to the scanning, due to the scouting, walled off with the 3 racks at the front door, has now cleared it out of the way. And it seems like both players now settling down into a 3-base scenario. But Thorzain's macro is just so good. He's got better upgrades across the board. He's already at 132 supply. Protoss is only at 114. These 6 Stalkers or so, they're not gonna do anything. Blink, it went in and then blinked the hell out of there. Too much Terran forces here. The factory is actually going to float in here, and Thorzain's going to immediately realize, oh, you don't have Colossus, so now I don't need to make any Vikings at all. I'm just going to stick with my units that I've got. But Thorzain, will he see the support bay? No, he will not. Oh, I don't know if he saw it or not, because there are Colossus being produced 2 at a time right now. He did not see the support bay in the background. So this could be how Elfi catches back up in this game, because right now he is only at 120 supply, under 150. If he can get a ton of Colossus out with Thermal Lance before this attack hits his 3rd base, there are not enough Vikings on the field right now. But somehow, someway, Thorzain knows that Colossus are coming, and he's making 2 Vikings at a time with ship weapons. Maybe he's just covering all bases just in case Elfi is indeed doing that infamous tech switch that Protoss like to do. It's hard to say, but he is pushing in right here, and he's got a big army. That Nexus is going to go down very quickly, and that might just put Elfi into an all-in situation where he will rely heavily on Colossus to try to end this game. I think that's probably his best option now, but he's going to try to reset the Nexus. And I don't know, the Colossus was definitely seen right there from Thorzain, and now he's making Vikings 3 at a time with you know, missile turrets coming up too, just in case of DTs. He's just covering every single avenue here where he could possibly, hypothetically, lose this game. And so he's got a turret coming for Dark Templar, just covering all bases. But yeah, Elfi is definitely going to try to make a push here. He's still got a chance to win, 155 under 164. It is looking a little bit grim for him, but if he can take out this base, no! Look at the whole Terran army stemming up, saying, you want some, then come get some. And Elfi just cannot push up this ramp because he will just get obliterated so quickly. But what choice does he have? If he stays back, he falls further behind. Thorzain's macro is so good, has a base advantage, and yeah, he just can't do anything. Thankfully, though, he hasn't lost anything yet. Every time he goes in, he's able to get out without losing any units. But there, the EMP comes down, taking some serious damage right there. That was critical. Another Colossus coming in here. I think maybe Elfi just buying time, just waiting for the right opportunity. He is about to finish 2-2, so if there's ever a chance here when his upgrades are tied up with the Terran, that would be it. He has got to be careful. All the Viking volleys at +1 weapons are just too much for the Colossus to handle. There are turrets and more CCs coming up. Thorzain just playing like the blob, absorbing everything. And this could be it. Storm comes down, but not really hitting the crucial bio army, just the ghosts and EMPs. That's gotta be it for Elfi. I don't know how he can hold on. The Vikings gonna crush the Colossus, and now Thorzain just gonna come in with the rest of the bio, and the Stalkers are in full-on retreat. Elfi knows that he is almost out of the series. He could lose here, even though he had a great advantage in the series. He's won the first game and was at a 2-1 advantage after game 3, but look at how Thorzain has just come back in this game. He has overstimmed a little bit, giving pursuit, but he has more than enough medevacs to go ahead and heal any overstimmage, any overusage of drugs there. And Thorzain just sitting back here, really looking pretty. Gonna repair all of his Vikings, Marines, and Marauders, full healing right now. And Elfi is at 145 supply to 185. He is... I wonder if he's just gonna try to grab all of his probes here and maybe go for one last hurrah. But you know, there's even a Reaper coming out as well. Late game Reaper from Thorzain. And that's not like, I don't think that's BM or anything, because a lot of Terran players do make Reapers in the late game, but the fact he's only making one, it is kind of funny. And it looks like Elfi pulling out some probes here, and you know, that Thorzain could just micro that all day long. Those probes are never going to chase him down unless the Stalker's warped in. So now Elfi, one last shot here, actually at 181 supply under 199. There is another pause, and Elfi is at 180 supply. He has actually been able to make a decent army here. Could he make a comeback in the 5th and final game and close it out? He's adding in more charge lots, but 3-3 has finished for the Terran army, or is about to finish. Terran armor is. He's already got 3 weapons, and the Protoss still woefully at only 2-2. So the technology is not there for Protoss, and Elfi goes in, whiffs the storms. All the Vikings just shoving the rockets into the Colossus's face. And now Archon's being warped in, but the Protoss army just cannot withstand firepower of that magnitude. And Thorzain is going to take the 5th and final game. GG goes rog.Elfi. And there it is, ladies and gentlemen. EG.Thorzain is your winner of the Asus ROG, the GD tournament. Hope you guys enjoyed the broadcasting. If you did, check me out on Facebook, YouTube, and Twitter. And go and find that annotation somewhere in my YouTube video archives. I don't know where. I'm not going to tell you guys, but it probably will take some time. I don't even know if you guys will find it. It depends, really. But there is an annotation somewhere in my video archives. And if you guys post a comment below that video, if you can find it, and you're the first one to post a comment, you will get a Heart of the Swarm beta key. And that is it for me, guys. I hope you guys enjoyed. This is, of course, HD StarCraft, and I am signing out.